So the Boston Celtics have seemed to now hit rock bottom, with the team's last 2 losses being to the 2 worst teams in the entire league. But crazy enough, even with those 2 terrible losses, that's just the tip of the iceberg as to why this Celtics team needs to start worrying about the direction of the team and the roster moving forward. What's up guys, SCJ here, and if you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to give it a like as it helps out a lot, and if you're new to the channel and or enjoyed the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. So like I just mentioned, the Boston Celtics have now lost to the 2 worst teams in the entire NBA in their last 2 games, the Detroit Pistons and the Washington Wizards. In the team's loss to the Wizards yesterday, they got absolutely embarrassed, suffering a 13-point loss as the final score was 104-91. 2 days earlier on Friday night, that was when they suffered their loss against the Pistons, and even though that loss was inexcusable, I guess a positive for them though is that they didn't get blown out just like they did yesterday. The Celtics now hold a record of 500 on the season and have a record of 13-13 to be exact after their loss yesterday to the Wizards. This team hasn't seemed to be right and hasn't seemed like they've truly been reaching or hitting their full potential really during the entire 2020-21 season, but lately the team has really been struggling. Ever since Kemba Walker returned on January 17th, the Celtics record has been 5-10. Ever since Marcus Smart got injured with a left calf tear against the LA Lakers, the team has been 3-5. What's worse is that over their last 15 games since Walker's return for the Celtics, they have only played 7 teams with a record above 500. And ever since Smart's injury, even though it's still not a positive as they suffered bad losses during this time period, half of the teams they've played since then have been over 500. Overall in the season up to this point though, not just during the last 8 or 15 games, the team currently has the 8th easiest schedule in the entire league. So for a team as talented as they are, their record for sure should be above 500 when you have 2 players averaging over 25.5 points on the season and shooting above 45% each, even with how bad Tatum has shot so far in February with a percentage of 39.3 so far this month. While Tatum is shooting poorly over this recent stretch, the real reasons for the Celtics' struggles this year have come down to how the team has played offensively. The Celtics have the least amount of players averaging double-digit points per game totals in the league this season with just 4 players. Overall in the season, they are just nearly scoring more points than they are letting up, as they're averaging 110.1 points per game as a team and allowing their opponent to score 109.3 points per game. Over the last 8 games though, since Smart's calf tear, the team is allowing more points per game than they're scoring, even despite having the 6th best defense over that period, and the same goes for the time since Kemba Walker has returned, even with the fact that their defense has still been really good since then, as they have the 7th best defense over the past 15 games. The team isn't just struggling in terms of scoring points, however. Overall in the season, they're dishing out the 3rd lowest assist total, the 3rd lowest assists over the past 15 games, and the 2nd lowest amount of assists over the past 8 games. You just simply can't win games that way. Back to their scoring though, the team has shot the ball poorly from the field over both the last 8 games and the last 15 games, as they have had the 5th worst field goal percentage over the past 15 games and the 3rd worst field goal percentage over the last 8 games. The team also has struggled with the foul game over this recent stretch as well as the entire season. Overall in the year, they're fouling opposing players more than they're drawing fouls themselves, fouling players as much as they're drawing fouls in the last 8 games than in the last 15 games. Once again, they are fouling players more than they're drawing fouls themselves. Also in terms of the foul game, they have the 7th worst free throw shooting percentage for the entire season and the 5th worst free throw percentage over their past 15 games since Walker returned. I think that tells you that this team has really struggled this year and they have bigger issues than just one of their 2 star players shooting poorly. So what's next for this Boston Celtics team? Well, even though Danny Ainge said in January the team wouldn't make any big trades, it feels like the team really needs to start shopping a player such as Kemba Walker. Not because he's a bad player, but simply because he hasn't seemed to be the right fit for this team since he arrived in the summer of 2019. When Marcus Smart, who's simply looked at as a defensive hound and a player who can play the 3-and-D role for this team, is averaging more assists this season than Kemba is currently and has averaged the same amount of assists as Kemba did with his career high in assists in that category ever before he got hurt. That's not a good thing when he's supposed to be the guy that's running your offense. Not only that though, but he hasn't been his true self ever since coming to Boston, since his field goal attempts have gone down since having to share the ball with 2 stars and the Celtics' 2 best players. The The Celtics have apparently been looking to trade for J.J. Redick and or Harrison Barnes, and while J.J. can help with the poor shooting as of late for the Celtics, and Barnes can be another solid scoring option for them, it still doesn't seem like they can help to find the answer to the team's problems. The Celtics have apparently also been interested in trading for Julius Randle and Nikola Vucevic, and while both players will for sure be an improvement over players such as Daniel Tice, Tristan Thompson, or Semi Ojeleye, I don't see either of the Knicks or the Magic trading those guys. Plus, I think it's safe to say the Celtics acquiring those guys would not solve the team's problems, as their problems look pretty major right now. So listen, I was skeptical on whether or not I should make this video, especially because I really didn't know if I would have a conclusion for this video or really any solution or anything to bring up or end the video with, but I will say this. This Celtics team is really struggling right now, and their issues are bigger than just waiting for Marcus Smart to come back, as the team went 1-5 in the games which Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker played together. So like I said, I don't know what way to end this video, but I guess I will say it feels like the team needs to start looking around at trades for Kemba Walker. He just doesn't seem to be the right fit in Boston, and the team seems like if they can address the point guard situation, they might be in good shape going forward. So I want to know what you guys think about this Boston Celtics team, a Kemba Walker trade, any trades in general, or just whatever having to do with this Boston Celtics team. Just let me know down in the comment section. Anyway though, if you liked the video, then please make sure to give it a like as it helps out a lot. And if you're new to the channel and or enjoy the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you stay up to date with my newest content. Anyway though guys, I'm SCJ and I am out. Peace.